I think it has to do with what we're talking about. Um, what actually are the conditions that will allow them, not the bestowal of, meaning the will of the Creator to bestow, has does not go changes. It does not. It's not. It's not under any change. Okay, it means that it is as it is from the moment of the creation till the last moment of, let's say, of the end of reformation. So it means that to allow actually the light to find its way, to extend itself, and not only to extend itself because it extends itself all the time, but to extend itself and be received by us by the same nature, with the same nature of goodness, meaning of bestowal, it's up to us. So if the work is actually saying, I perceive, the worker is saying, I perceive that the reality of what is being discovered through the work, or what is being discovered in reality in the world, in human history, has to do with us not being able to allow the light to extend itself with its nature. It's as though we're turning light into darkness instead of turning darkness into light. Okay? So this is in terms of that because the Creator wished to bestow goodness, that sort of we we transmit a sense of satisfaction and pleasure by the fact that the present that He wished to give us actually is being perceived with the importance and quality that it was sent. So if I send you a diamond and you'll perceive it as a glass, I will not be content.
Yes.
Because you'll treat it as non-important. You'll treat it as that you have nothing to do with it. So it means that in order to be able to value the light with its true nature, I need to adapt my perception. Yeah. So this is the condition. So then there is some sort of reciprocity between the giver and the receiver. Okay? So this is what causes sort of contentment with the higher. That we allow the light, not only that we allow the light to extend itself to us, but we perceive it and conceive it in such a way that we are not losing the nature of it, the value of it.
And we perceive it in the work.
You perceive it in the work because only in the work you actually are becoming aware that you don't have the vessel to actually receive it. So you need to reform it to be able to receive it. Because we think that before we enter, we think that it's fine. We're okay. Why not receiving the light? Yes, I'll come into the work, I'll receive the light. Because
So
I'm the
we're in the
light,
work,
no?
and we can perceive that. Yet we have to, it was tying back to Torah and mitzvot, which happened both in the work and in corporeal, right?
No.
Or am I missing something?
Well, Torah is a very particular light. It's not a light in itself. It's the action of the light. It's ma'or, it's called. Ma'or sheba. Meaning, it's that which can sort of change our constitution, or the constitution of the will to receive to oneself, into a true vessel, which means a screen and a return light. So this is actually what Torah is able to. This is the way Torah can act upon us. This is why it says that Torah was, meaning the remedy, was created before the world. Yeah. So there is this will to receive, and within it there is the action of the light that actually will cause the vessel to be aware of its state and to become a proper vessel for the light. This is Torah. And mitzvah is actually all the conscious action that we allow our spirit to enact, okay, as a connective visceral sort of structure, as a connective pentacles, as a connective reforming and belief. Okay, so this is actually has to do with what we can sort of express as an act. Everything that will allow connection, that will allow us to be with the mind of the Creator, closer to the mind of the Creator, closer to his thought, closer to his sentiment. So this is actually the meaning of Torah and mitzvah. It's the action of the light to prepare us to be able to reconnect.
Which is within the work and the spiritual connection, not the soul or the corporeal.
Exactly. It's actually the mission of the spirit. So the mission of the spirit, not only for this genetic corporeal Israel, it's for the spiritual Israel. It's the mission of the spirit is being sort of revealing itself in this portion. The struggle that it will have, the time that it can sort of reveal itself, and actually the structures that will allow it to be. One is a house, and the second is Sukkah, meaning belief, which is Sukkah, and reforming Malchut, which is Bayit, which is to do with a house, home. So Yaakov is building two structures which are one. A preparation, which is to do with Sukkah, which is to do with belief, and a commitment to allow Malchut to go through the process that will allow her to be home for the light. So it's universal. Now it sort of divides itself into tendency of people, or tendency of humanity. So what we're starting to see, that there is some sort of tribes and people who sort of sense this mission and adhere to it. Yeah? But basically, it's a beginning of this possibility. And this possibility in the world, not only for corporeal Israel, for that which is real, for that which is the head, which is consecrated and devoted to the Creator. This is the basic, that it's a sense or a structure, a face that allow wisdom to reveal itself within the face of humanity. Okay? So it becomes universal, and then it needs a particular carrier. Okay, this is what I'm saying. So the particular carrier then were named later. Well, later they lost the name Israel and they adopted Jewish or Judaism on themselves. But in order actually to understand, we need to go back to this definition, which is Israel.
And those that are not there in the work, or have not yet come to the work, or are in a different place in Israel, Judaism, anything else corporeal, are not relevant to the work in that way?
They're not in the, well, as Bala Sulam is saying, that you cannot judge something which is not yet with the ability to be aware of it. So they're not judged. But
Not judged,
once
but
there is an awakening of the point of the heart, you are judged. So only people in the work that chose work are judged. The rest is it's they are part of an unconscious reformation that actually is it connects to a very deep pain and suffering, okay, of the world. So in order to become Israel, you have to choose whether you were born Jewish or whether you were born Catholic or Protestant or Muslim. It doesn't matter. You need to choose to be Israel. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's more difficult for a Jew because they are certain they are Israel, but they are not.
Yes, so making that choice from a place of not knowing you need to make the choice is different.
Yes, yeah. And to see how well, it's within our circumstances, each one, we need to see what it entails, this choice. But first, it entails studying, knowing the condition of it, knowing what it demands, knowing what it is, and then you can actually commit to it. Yeah.
And continue to study.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it formulates the process. Yeah.
A lot to sit with. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's rich, deep portion, and it takes a lot of weaving and different levels of understanding creation and the role of humanity, of the creative within it, the possibility within it. Okay. So yes. Okay.